Bilkey again, Director of Business Education, Midwest, East, Southeast, with another episode. Now that we've got the panel set up, we've got our apps set up, you know how to load the apps and widgets. We're going to go into the floating toolbar and the Xsign software. So this will be the longest, but probably most valuable piece. So there's a couple things. If you hold your two fingers as a peace sign, it's going to pull up our floating toolbar, which you can move anywhere depending if you're right or left-handed. And within there you can go to our Easy Write software. You can erase everything. You can open up or save something to a file. You can capture an image and you can record. There's also a couple pens on here. So we've got the two different size passive pens, the small tip and the big tip. And I can write now in two colors at the same time. This is just overlay. So when I exit out of this, it goes away. There's also an easier way to get the floating toolbar up. That would be to click on this arrow here, which is height adjustable. Click on that arrow, click the easy button. It's not trademarked or anything, I hope. Never heard of the easy button before. And then you can move this around, and again, there you're back at your floating toolbar. So that's what that is. This will let you open up multiple apps, and you can close out the ones that are open. Clear them all out. Might make it run a little faster. This will pull up the Easy Write software, and this will let you pick sources. We can actually name these sources as well, and I can show you how to do that in a next episode. So let's go to the Easy Write. Another thing, I can hold the back of this because it has an NFC piece on it. It pulls up the Easy Write software. Again, this is a passive pen, no batteries needed, which is nice. And again, we've got the two different tips, the 1mm tip and the 3mm tip, I believe. So we're just going to go through the Easy Write software. Here you can pick your color. So right now I'm in this is single pen mode, this is dual pen mode, and this is paintbrush mode. You've got all these colors here. You know what, I probably need to do an update because there's more. I forgot to do the update, show you how to do that. Yeah, so there's an update there. But let me just kind of run through what we have. So the first thing again would be, let's pick some colors here. So I'm going to go to the single pen, and I can make the thickness as thick. Okay. See if it gets it here. So I hit the lasso the word. It's going to get inverted. And my handwriting was that terrible. And my camera person's laughing at me. So if you thought that was bad, look how terrible my circles are. That's awful. But luckily, I can hit the lasso and I convert it to a perfect circle. I don't know about you. How about a rectangle? Does that look good? No. How about this? Oh, that's beautiful. So we got handwriting recognition, shape recognition, the pinch and grab. You can make a few circles and do your Venn diagram if you want. You can add pages here. So I'm going to add another page. Page 2. Now let's look at the dual pen. So with the dual pen, you can pick two different colors at the same time. Small tip, big tip will let you do that. And then I can write in two colors at the same time. Let's erase that. I know my daughter's pretty impressed by now. Okay, the paintbrush mode. Let me just grab my paintbrush. These are just paintbrushes I got on the web. There's nothing special about these. What you want to do here is maybe turn off, there's a palm eraser. Let me show you. So the palm eraser, if I take my hand and make a big area, it's a big palm eraser. If I make a small area, it's a small palm eraser. Or you could just use an eraser and erase. But let's go back to the paintbrush. So I'm not an artist, but what I will show is you can see the different thicknesses. So if I write thick or thin, and if I was artistic, I could probably make a nice drawing, but I'm not, so I'm not even gonna try. But that's how the paintbrush works. So I don't think a lot of people have the paintbrush. Let's go back to the single pen. Now you see I can go really small here. So one of the things about our touch is, see how close I am before it hits it? I've got to be like right there. So you don't get the knuckle drag like you might on some of the interactive projectors that are out there. So very accurate on the touch. And see how small it is? You know, down to a millimeter, because this is a fine IR technology. It's double the density of our old panels. So it's very accurate. No like, you know, bracelet or anything like that making it go bad. Now let's go back to the dual pen here. Let's see if it'll work with a finger and a pen. Oh, I can do a finger and a pen at the same time. So if one student wants to use their finger and another student wants to do the pen, it'll do that. The thing is, you gotta hold the pen somewhat perpendicular, or at least until I do my update. So that's how the dual pen paintbrush works. This will let you, this is a share button. It's you could pull up a QR code and anybody could use the QR code. It goes to the AWS over the web, and you've got about 20 minutes to save the file to your device that is the QR code reader. Or if you set it up to email, you can email this presentation to everybody in the class or send it to a networkable printer. This record button here will let me record everything that I say and do. Put up on the board, you see that record is going there. So as I open up a map, for example, +2 =, and now at the same time, multiple students can be answering it. And you know, we have a genius over here that got it correct. And now I'm going to stop recording. So I could save this as 3 separate pages or 1 big page, but now I'm done recording now. So I want to save what I was doing. Let's go into the AMS. So we're going to have to do a little cut.
Record everything that I say and do. Put up on the board to see that record is going there. So as I open up a map, for example, I'll show you this. I can write a question, complicated question, and paste it.
Let's get out of that. If you're like me, you don't like to hear your voice. So let's go back to Easy Write. So now you've seen, so I will update it at the end or in the next video. So that's the record feature. Now this one is really nice as well. What this can do is you use the QR code reader. Anybody can take the QR code and they will join a session. They don't have to be on the same network. This is over the cloud. It's cloud whiteboarding. Or you can go to this website here, the easywrite.benq.com, and you type in the 8-digit room number. So if, let's say, it's a snow day or an e-learning day, or now we're in the COVID-19 era, for learning at home, they can join on this lesson. So she's using my phone to record this, but otherwise I can record and there's no lag on it. I always go real fast and there's no lag on the phone. Here, and I can co-create, and people always say, well, couldn't they add content? And if I go co-create, then the students can add content, photos, they can annotate, there's post-it notes that are separated by colors. So if you ask questions in groups, they can group them out by colors. Or what I can do too is I can stop the activity. That stops the co-create, and then we're back just to my broadcasting. So all eyes on me, stop what you're doing, and I can talk and capture the attention back. So that's our cloud whiteboarding. There's really no limit to the number of attendees as far as I know. Our InstaShare has a limit of up to 32 people. And you need to be more on the same network, or the networks at least have to talk to each other. If you have, like display devices on one VPN, the teacher's devices on another, students on another, and a guest network. You'd have to let the networks talk to each other if it means to share, unless you're all in the same classroom. So that's kind of that. So I need to update this. All right, so that was that. I showed you the colors and all that. That's the erase everything. Here's some apps. So I showed you the one app which was the triple screen. Here's our calculator. And again, I could be recording this whole lesson, right? But I'll just go, 3 squared plus 2 cubed squared minus 8. And then you give the students a chance to figure it out. And then when I put the equal sign, it's going to give the answer. I think it's going to be 281. Let's see. 281. All right, now I can divide this by 2, so it's a continuous one. There we go. So now it's 136 and a half. So that's the built-in calculator. It does sine, cosine, all that type of stuff. What this would be is geometry, so I could make a circle here, converted it for me, and then I can export it into EasyWrite. Clear that out. Triangle, converts it, export it. And then with the lasso, I can grab these and I can move them around. So that's the shape piece. This would be a stopwatch. Let's say you have a track team or swimming team. You can do laps or a scavenger hunt and have each team's time. So that's the stopwatch. This will be the countdown timer. So what this will do is, let's say you have a test, 20 minutes to take this test, for example. And I can get out of that screen and I can pull up something in Windows or play a video. I could go to a website and that timer will still be going. I could be doing my work, which I'll show you the remote in a future one. I could freeze. So time's up, pencils down. Time's up, pencils down. Test is over. So that's the timer. Need to do that update. Here's the randomizer. So let's say I want to draw 3 students, so between 1 and I've got, let's say this is a small class. I've got 15 kids in my class. So I can draw 3 students or 3 questions and, randomly match, student number 10, student number 2, and student number 11 come up, and then I can do that split screen and have them all write out animals or something. Or I could randomly pick a question through that. That's the random generator. What this would be is a scoreboard. So here I can have 4 teams. I could be doing quizzes. First team got the first one. Now it's a tie. They both get a crown. Now these guys are in the lead, so I can have a scoreboard for the teams, which is kind of nice. Up to 5 teams. What this would be is sticky notes. Yeah, you can vote, and it's going to, I believe it sorts them by color. So we're having a vote here, and it's going to separate them by color. So that's the sticky notes, or post-it notes. Well, yeah, sticky notes, I guess. What this is I can make a diagram. So this will be the district. This will be elementary school, middle school, high school. It's going to identify the shapes theoretically, and then I can export. The update, I needed to do the update before I did this, but now that's a page. What this is here is I can import an image from my Google Drive, for example. That was actually from the there we go. So I can import this image into it. That could be a map or something like that, whatever I wanted to talk about in class. Or I can import a document. We've got all these backgrounds here. So let's say, once you have a teacher that's getting ready to retire next year and she's old-fashioned, she can actually write like the old-fashioned chalkboards. And I gotta work on my O's. Well, let's see what happens. There we go. So, or it's, some people might find it easier to read this way. So there we go. Again, we can add pages here. I'm going to add another page. So what other backgrounds do we have? So we've got a lot of sports themed backgrounds. All the sports you guys may remember. We've got grids, note paper, music paper. And with this plus sign, you can add whatever you want again. So, yeah, didn't want to add that. Okay, hopefully I didn't lose the whole thing. I did. Okay. So let me just show you okay. Now you've got your pages here and you can resort them if you want to change your lesson around. So it's Friday at 9 o'clock. Usually this works a lot better. Okay. I'm gonna have to edit that out. So again, there's the update that needs to be done. So that's pretty much easy, right? But let me show you one more thing. I'll show you a couple things since we're on a roll here. Let's pull up one of these apps here. So this is the Heart app. And with this, I'm going to show how I can integrate into Easy Write. But for example, this will be a little lesson that you can preload it. There's your heart, or a heart, should I say. So what I want to do now is pull up this Easy Write floating toolbar. I could have did it with the 2 fingers or this way. And I'm going to put the image capture, and then I'll just go like this. And I'm going to capture this heart here. And then if I hit Easy Write, it's going to export it into Easy Write. And now it goes into my whiteboarding software, which again I need to do the update on. And now I can just annotate. Put it wherever I want. And now that's part of my lesson. So that's one thing that's kind of nice. Another thing I want to show you real quick. If I go to my Google Drive, let me pull up a PowerPoint slide. We'll do a little BenQ background slide. And no, I hit the printer. Sorry about that. Let's go back. Pull up a little BenQ intro slide. So this should be, we're just gonna have to cut that whole thing. Let me just pull up the spec sheet on our cards. I wanted to use Office and not print. So WPS Office. It's going to pull up an Office document. I agree to the terms. Okay, I'm going to allow it. All right, so here's a PDF of our trolley, very affordably priced. It holds all sizes, 65, 75, and 86-inch sizes. So what I can do here is I'm going to go File, or no, I'm going to go Edit, PDF. And now you've got your pen here. or I can annotate, and it's annotating inside of it. Here's my highlighter. So I can highlight that it does 55, 65, 75, and our 86-inch panels. I can change the color if I want of the highlighter. So it's the Bentu mobile trolley cart. And now if I get out of this, when I move up and down, it's inside the document. Versus if I do with our Easy Write, I can also annotate. It's got a nice little tray there. But when I get out of Easy Write, it goes away. But what I did within the WPS stays there. So now I'm done. So then I can file, save as, and I can save this to the cloud. I can save it to my Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, Evernote, whatever I want. I can rename it, and I can save it as a PDF because it was originally a PDF. If it was a PowerPoint, I could have saved it as a PDF, PNG, or save it again as a PowerPoint. If I save it as a PowerPoint, I can edit it again. Or I could, let's see if I go File, Save As. If I don't want to save it to the cloud, I could also save it to the pad as actually the panel. I could save it to USB card, or I could save it into my documents. So that's kind of that. So actually probably what I wanted to do is open up a PowerPoint, and I'll do that in a future one. So that's Easy Write basically. So thank you, and the next one will be coming soon. Alright, Princess.
Done?
Yeah. Alright, here, let's do one quick one. One more quick one.
Two.
Alright, that's Bill Bilke again, Director of Business Education, Midwest, East, Southeast, with another episode. Now that we've got the panel set up, we've got our apps set up, you know how to load the apps and widgets. We're going to go into the floating toolbar and the Xsign software. So this will be the longest, but probably most valuable piece. So there's a couple things. If you hold your two fingers as a peace sign, it's going to pull up our floating toolbar, which you can move anywhere depending if you're right or left-handed. And within there you can go to our Easy Write software. You can erase everything. You can open up or save something to a file. You can capture an image and you can record. There's also a couple pens on here. So we've got the two different size passive pens, the small tip and the big tip. And I can write now in two colors at the same time. This is just overlay. So when I exit out of this, it goes away. There's also an easier way to get the floating toolbar up. That would be to click on this arrow here, which is height adjustable. Click on that arrow, click the easy button. It's not trademarked or anything, I hope. Never heard of the easy button before. And then you can move this around, and again, there you're back at your floating toolbar. So that's what that is. This will let you open up multiple apps, and you can close out the ones that are open. Clear them all out, might make it run a little faster. This will pull up the Easy Write software, and this will let you pick sources. We can actually name these sources as well, and I can show you how to do that in a next episode. So let's go to the Easy Write. Another thing, I can hold the back of this because it has an NFC piece on it. It pulls up the Easy Write software. Again, this is a passive pen, no batteries needed, which is nice. And again, we've got the two different tips, the 1mm tip and the 3mm tip, I believe. So we're just going to go through the Easy Write software. Here you can pick your color. So right now I'm in this is single pen mode, this is dual pen mode, and this is paintbrush mode. You've got all these colors here. You know what, I probably need to do an update because there's more. I forgot to do the update, show you how to do that. Yeah, so there's an update there. just kind of run through what we have. So the first thing again would be, let's pick some colors here. So I'm going to go to the single pen, and I can make the thickness as thick as I want. So now if I hit this lasso, I can, oops, it's an image. Yeah, that didn't work. You're gonna have to edit that one out. Okay. Let's see if it gets it here. So I hit the lasso the word. It's gonna get inverted. And my handwriting was that terrible. And my camera person's laughing at me. So if you thought that was bad, look how terrible my circles are. That's awful. But luckily, I can hit the lasso and I convert it to a perfect circle. I don't know about you, triangles, just not my thing. You didn't see that, did you? We'll cut that one out.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna sit so I can hold it still.
Okay. How about a rectangle? Does that look good? No. How about this? Oh, that's beautiful. So we got handwriting recognition, shape recognition, the pinch and grab. You can make a few circles and do your Venn diagram if you want. You can add pages here. So I'm going to add another page. Page 2. Now let's look at the dual pen. So with the dual pen, you can pick 2 different colors at the same time. Small tip, big tip will let you do that. And I can write in 2 colors at the same time. Let's erase that. I know my daughter's pretty impressed by now. Okay, the paintbrush mode. Let me just grab my paintbrush. These are just paintbrushes I got on the web. There's nothing special about these. What you want to do here is maybe turn off, there's a palm eraser. Let me show you. So the palm eraser, if I take my hand and make a big area, it's a big palm eraser. If I make it smaller, it's a small palm eraser. Or you could just use an eraser and erase. But let's go back to the paintbrush. So I'm not an artist, but what I will show is you can see the different thicknesses. So if I write thick or thin, and if I was artistic, I could probably make a nice drawing, but I'm not, so I'm not even going to try. But that's how the paintbrush works. So I don't think a lot of people have the paintbrush. Let's go back to the single pen. Now you see I can go really small here. So one of the things about our touch is, see how close I am before it hits it? I've got to be like right there. So you don't get the knuckle drag like you might on some of the interactive projectors that are out there. So very accurate on the touch. And see how small it is? Down to a millimeter, because this is a fine IR technology. It's double the density of our old panels. So it's very accurate. No bracelet or anything like that making it go bad. Now let's go back to the dual pen here. Let's see if it'll work with a finger and a pen. So I can do a finger and a pen at the same time. So if one student wants to use their finger and another student wants to do the pen, it'll do that. The thing is, you gotta hold the pen somewhat perpendicular, or at least until I do my update. So that's how the dual pen paintbrush works. This will let you, this is a share button. You could pull up a QR code and anybody could use the QR code. It goes to the AWS over the web, and you've got about 20 minutes to save the file to your device that has the QR code reader. Or if you set it up to email, you can email this presentation to everybody in the class or send it to a networkable printer. this record button here will let me record everything that I say and do. Put up on the board, you see that record is going there. So as I open up a map, for example, I'll show you this. I can write a question, complicated question, and paste it to all. Oops, 2 plus 2 equals. And now at the same time, multiple students can be answering it. And we have a genius over here that got it correct. And now I'm going to stop recording. So I could say this is 3 separate pages or 1 big page, but now I'm done recording now. So I don't want to save what I was doing. Let's go into the AMS and let's go into the internal drive and user, which is actually, this user would be substitute teacher. Okay, hold on. Actually, you go into the backgrounds, so we're going to have to do a little cut.
Record everything that I say and do. Put up on the board, you see that record is going there. So as I open up a map, for example, I'll show you this. I can write a question, complicated question, and paste it.
Let's get out of that. If you're like me, you don't like to hear your voice. So let's go back to Easy Write. So now you've seen, so I will update it at the end or in the next video. So that's the record feature. Now this one is really nice as well. What this can do is you use the QR code reader. Anybody can take the QR code and they will join a session. They don't have to be on the same network. This is over the cloud. It's cloud whiteboarding. Or you can go to this website here, the easywrite.benq.com, and you type in the 8-digit room number. So if, let's say, it's a snow day or an e-learning day, or now we're in the COVID-19 era, for learning at home, they can join on this lesson. So she's using my phone to record this, but otherwise I can record and there's no lag on it. I always go real fast and there's no lag on the phone. So you can do that. The other thing is I can also go here and I can co-create. And people always say, well, couldn't they add content? And if I go co-create, then the students can add content, photos, they can annotate, there's post-it notes that are separated by colors. So if you ask questions in groups, they can group them out by colors. Or what I can do too is I can stop the activity, that stops the co-create, and then we're back just to my broadcasting, so all eyes on me, stop what you're doing, and I can talk and capture the attention back. So that's our cloud whiteboarding. There's really no limit to the number of attendees as far as I know. Our InstaShare has a limit of up to 32 people. And you need to be more on the same network, or the networks at least have to talk to each other. If you have, display devices on one VPN, the teacher's devices on another, students on another, and a guest network, you'd have to let the networks talk to each other for things to share, unless you're all in the same classroom. So that's kind of that. So I need to update this. All right, so that was that. I showed you the colors and all that. That's the erase everything. Here's some apps. So I showed you the one app which was the triple screen. Here's our calculator. And again, I could be recording this whole lesson, right? But I'll just go, 3 squared plus 2 cubed squared minus 8. And then you give the students a chance to figure it out. And then when I put the equal sign, it's going to give the answer. I think it's going to be 281. Let's see. 281. So now it's 136 and a half. So that's the built-in calculator. It does sine, cosine, all that type of stuff. What this would be is geometry. So I could make a circle here, converted it for me, and then I can export it into Easy Write. Clear that out. triangle, converts it, export it. And then with the lasso, I can grab these and I can move them around. So that's the shape piece. This would be a stopwatch. Let's say you have a track team or swimming team, you can do laps, or a scavenger hunt and have each team's time. So that's the stopwatch. This will be the countdown timer. So what this will do is, let's say you have a test, 20 minutes to take this test, for example, and I can get out of that screen and I can pull up something in Windows or play a video. I could go to a website and that timer will still be going. I could be doing my work, which I'll show you the remote in a future one. I could freeze, so time's up, pencils down, time's up, pencils down, test is over, so that's the timer. Need to do that update. Here's the randomizer. So let's say I want to draw 3 students, so between 1 and I've got, let's say this is a small class. I've got 15 kids in my class. So I can draw 3 students or 3 questions and, randomly match, student number 10, student number 2, and student number 11 come up, and then I can do that split screen and have them all draw, write out animals or something. Or I could randomly pick a question through that. That's the random generator. What this would be is a scoreboard. So here I can have 4 teams. I could be doing quizzes. First team got the first one. Now it's a tie. They both get a crown. Now these guys are in the lead, so I can have a scoreboard for the teams, which is kind of nice. Up to 5 teams. What this would be is sticky notes. Yeah, you can vote, and it's going to, I believe it sorts them by color. So we're having a vote here, and it's going to separate them by color. So that's the sticky notes, or post-it notes. Well, yeah, sticky notes, I guess. What this is I can make a diagram. So this will be the district. This will be elementary school, middle school, high school. It's going to identify the shapes theoretically, and then I can export. The update, I needed to do the update before I did this, but now that's page. What this is here is I can import an image. There we go. So I can import this image into it. That could be a map or something like that, whatever I wanted to talk about in class. Or I can import a document. We've got all these backgrounds here. So let's say once you have a teacher that's getting ready to retire next year and she's old-fashioned, she can actually write like the old-fashioned chalkboards. And I gotta work on my O's. Well, let's see what happens. There we go. So, or some people might find it easier to read this way. Again, we can add pages here. I'm going to add another page. So what other backgrounds do we have? So we've got a lot of sports themed backgrounds. All the sports you guys may remember. We've got grids, note paper, music paper. And with this plus sign, you can add whatever you want again. So yeah, didn't want to add that. Okay, hopefully I didn't lose the whole thing. I did. Okay. So let me just show you okay. Now you've got your pages here and you can resort them if you want to change your lesson around. Okay. I'm gonna have to So again, there's the update that needs to be done. So that's pretty much easy, right? But let me show you one more thing. I'll show you a couple things since we're on a roll here. Let's pull up one of these apps here. So this is the Heart app. And with this, I'm going to show how I can integrate into Easy Write. But for example, this will be a little lesson that you can preload it. There's your heart, or a heart, should I say. So what I want to do now is pull up this Easy Write floating toolbar. I could have did with the 2 fingers or this way. And I'm going to put the image capture, and then I'll just go like this. And I'm going to capture this heart here. And then if I hit Easy Write, it's going to export it into Easy Write. And now it goes into my whiteboarding software, which again I need to do the update on. And now I can just annotate. Put it wherever I want. And now that's part of my lesson. So that's one thing that's kind of nice. Another thing I want to show you real quick. If I go to my Google Drive, let me pull up let me just pull up this spec sheet on our cards. I wanted to use Office and not print. So WPS Office. It's going to pull up an Office document. I agree to the terms. Okay, I'm going to allow it. Alright, so here's a PDF of our trolley. Very affordably priced. It holds all sizes, 65, 75, and 86-inch sizes. So what I can do here is I'm going to go File, or no, I'm going to go Edit, PDF. And now you've got your pen here where I can annotate, and it's annotating inside of it. Here's my highlighter. So I can highlight that it does 55, 65, 75, and our 86-inch panels. I can change the color if I want of the highlighter. So it's the BenQ Mobile Trolley Cart. And now if I get out of this, when I move up and down, it's inside the document. Versus if I do with our Easy Write, I can also annotate. Got a nice little tray there, but when I get out of Easy Write, it goes away. But what I did within the WPS stays there. So now done. So then I can file, save as, and I can save this to the cloud. I can save it to my Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, Evernote, whatever I want. I can rename it. And I could save it as a PDF because it was originally a PDF. If it was a PowerPoint, I could have saved it as a PDF, PNG, or save it again as a PowerPoint. If I save it as a PowerPoint, I can edit it again. Or I could, let's see if I go File, Save As. If I don't want to save it to the cloud, I could also save it to the pad as actually the panel. I could save it to USB card. Or I could save it into my documents. So that's kind of that. So actually probably what I wanted to do is open up a PowerPoint, and I'll do that in a future one. So that's Easy Write basically. So thank you, and the next one will be coming soon.